Public service announcement. Stop, stop, stop. Please, for the love of God, stop letting Iron Man dominate your games and get free wins. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about this character who's basically a cancer in low ELO, and I'm going to talk about why just the fact that someone picks him will generate a lot of value for a team, even if the person playing him has literally zero skill and horrible game mechanics and game sense. So basically, you're here because you've probably just played a game where you just got absolutely rocked by Iron Man. Everybody's flobbing around, DPS ain't doing their job, they're not targeting Iron Man, and he just basically rolls through your team. Why does he do this? He flies around, he spams a lot of shots, and he's got an ultimate that will instantly delete you if you don't play around it. Also, Luna mains out there, I know you feel like you're unstoppable in your ult, but he can actually destroy you in your ult with this pulse cannon. So fun fact, Luna mains, all you guys out there pop it, you think you're unstoppable for 12 seconds, this will actually eat you up. So today I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks and kind of talk about why does Iron Man generate so much value even if the person using him isn't necessarily good at the game, and what you can do to play around it and to play better and stop having these games where basically an Iron Man who solo carries the enemy team and your whole team is just like, what the heck happened? Everybody's pointing fingers and blaming each other else. Like, no, none of that. All right, so let's hop into it. First of all, why does Iron Man generate so much value just by being picked? Well, the answer to that has to do with positioning. Just the fact that Iron Man's on the team creates an extra angle for the enemy to deal with. So basically, let's say your whole team's here and you're here. So now one spot, two spot, and now we're attacking the exact same spot. Now, if we fly over here and look at it from the enemy team perspective, especially if people aren't coordinated, which most teams are not, we're here, the team is there, but now we have to deal with fire from two different spots. This causes attentions to be split up. Some people are looking at Iron Man, some people are looking at the team, some people know Iron Man's there, but they're like, ah, fuck, I'm DPS, my aim's bad, or I'm just a Spider-Man one trick, I can't reach him. And they just completely ignore the Iron Man and let him go uncontested. Then he eats through your supports, eats through your tanks, and basically just free wins the game. So that's the most basic reason why Iron Man generates a lot of value, is because of his mobility, because he can fly and reposition easily, he's always hitting you from a different angle, which means that just by him being on a team, you have to deal with two separate threats and your attention gets divided if you guys aren't able to properly deal with the Iron Man. Also that, he's got really good range. He can literally just sit here, spam this. All he has to do really is just stay back, spam, and if he's half decent mechanically at the game, he's going to stay back, spam, but he's going to kind of like hug a corner and be somewhere where if they do start to fire him, he can literally just dip out and then kind of come back in, start doing it again, dip out, come back in, start doing it again. And that's why he's really, really hard to deal with, because that's literally all you have to do as Iron Man is just like spam your things, farm your ult, use your abilities, fire off some missiles. Yeah. I feel good. I'm so good at this game. Let me talk shit in the aim game chat because I'm so good. But in reality, it has nothing to do with being good. He's just pushing his buttons and the enemy team is lacking in knowledge, which after this video, you will have a ton of knowledge and a ton of options for dealing with Iron Man, whether you play DPS, tank, or support. So that's the basic, most fundamental reason why Iron Man is so good. He can basically pressure you from off angles, deal a lot of spam damage. When his ult hits, it's basically a one-shot KO, and that makes for a very strong character. Now, what can you do with this? So first tip before we get into characters and counters is when you're playing with your team, if you are on the DPS role, it is your job to be the one primarily pressuring the Iron Man. Some tanks and some healers can do this, but I'll explain why it's probably not the best idea later. But as a DPS, your job needs to be dealing with the other DPS and supports. Now, if you're like a one-trick Spider-Man, like honestly, if Spider-Man's mechanically really good at the game, he can deal with an Iron Man. Iron Fist can possibly deal with an Iron Man. But if you're like staying on Magic or Wolverine, even though the enemy team has an Iron Man, but you refuse to switch off because you're a melee assassin one trick, get off the character. Let someone else DPS. You are not doing your job. And I repeat, you're not doing your job. Like as a DPS, you need to be dealing with the Iron Man. I'm not even saying like killing him essentially, but you got to be pressuring him so he can't be pressuring you guys. So the first thing I would say is if you got notice an Iron Man that's doing really well on the other team, you got to like chat with your teammates. You got to first be like, hey, we need to deal with an Iron Man and designate 1 to 2 people to just keep tabs on the Iron Man and try to generate some pressure on him. And when I say pressure, what do I mean? Like, let's say I pop a shot off here over there. You know, I didn't kill him. And let's say that's like an Iron Man. But when I shoot him and get like 1 hit off, he's gonna take damage. If I'm Iron Man here, I take damage. I'm gonna run away because I know I'm taking fire. And that pulls me out of the fight for a couple seconds. I'm going to either go find some healing or kind of come back and regroup. And what a lot of people accidentally do is they will start attacking the Iron Man, like especially like healers or like tanks sometimes, especially if the DPS isn't dealing with them. Like, okay, I'm going to deal with them. And then they're just going to literally like spend like 15 seconds spamming. Maybe as healer or like Luna or Mantis, you finally kill the fucking Iron Man, but you look back, your whole team is dead because during those 15 seconds of you spamming shots trying to deal with the Iron Man, you aren't healing your team, and then you end up losing the fight anyways because your attention is way too focused on the Iron Man. So I would suggest if you are in those roles and your DPS isn't taking care of Iron Man, what you need to do is throw a few shots off, do a little bit of damage on him. I do this with Rocket Raccoon all the time. And then just enough to where he has to reposition. Once you see him repositioning, stop committing to shooting him and go back to focus healing your teammates and focus on the team fight. And then when he pokes back in, just kind of keep doing that again in like cycles. And then be mindful of results. So designate 1 to 2 people in your team to be like, hey, be on Iron Man duty. Just put some pressure on him and ping him. Nobody's pinging him. He's getting so many cheeky little plays where he flanks around and then, oh, look, I got my ult behind the team. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. But if you see Iron Man at all, just ping him. Ping him. That lets your whole team know that you saw Iron Man and they know where he's at, so they know where the ult's probably going to come from. 2 little somethings. Ping. So now let's talk into some hero counters. So now if you are playing tank, my personal favorite picks for countering him, and there's some good options here, and by all means, I'm giving you guys a few options for tank and DPS and support, but these are by no means the only options. There's a lot of creative ways you can use other characters to kind of deal with them, but I just want to give you like the general idea. So Doctor Strange is obviously a good one. He's got a massive shield. Basically, you can just put that up in front of the ult and save your entire team. So that one's like a no-brainer. But some other options people don't really think about are Magneto and Captain America. So Magneto is pretty good against Iron Man because this shield will actually block Iron Man's ultimate, and it can be very useful for mitigating a lot of the spam damage he's doing to your team to give your team time to heal up. And if you are keeping your team alive and then your healers are healing you up, you're basically getting to farm your healer ults, which is good for you guys in the long run. Also, let's say I'm like over here, Iron Man's like over there, and he's shooting at my backline, and I'm out of position because I didn't know he was flanking because nobody pinged him, and he's shooting off a pulse cannon at my entire team. Well, even though I'm here and I can't get in position to put my shield up in time, I at least have my ally shielding, which I don't have an ally here, so I can't show it, but let me show you on these galactic bots. Like, let's say I'm over here, most of the team's here, not sure where Iron Man's at, I'm keeping an eye out for him, I miss him, he sneaks by, he's about to ult my team from the behind. You can at least save one person by throwing that shield on him. That makes him invulnerable for about 3 seconds, so you can literally just drop a shield on him, and that way it's not a complete massive team wipe, and you can actually keep someone alive. Also, as a last-ditch effort, Magneto's ultimate actually absorbs projectiles, so everything in that circle will get absorbed. So if your shield, like let's say you just use your shield, it's out of charge and you already used your bubble, it's a rough team fight and you don't have any answers for the pulse cannon, that's your last ditch effort. You could just drop that, soak up Iron Man's ult, and possibly still get a shot off. A lot of times when you eat Iron Man's ult, that's a shit ton of damage. Your ult might actually explode. Like if you reach 100% charge, it just explodes and you don't get to use it. But in a last ditch scenario, and if you're super out of position, your abilities are off cooldown, you can use your ult to actually negate his pulse cannon. And even if you lose your ult, it's better than losing your entire team. So I'd say that is a win. Now, switching up heroes, Captain America is also amazing against Iron Man because his shield actually deflects Iron Man's ult. And if you pull that off, you are going to feel really damn good about yourself. Now, it is a little bit hard to get into positioning. You got to be playing really smart, but basically you want to have your shield up. And then worst case scenario, you can kind of jump to get into position. So now Captain America has this bug to where when you're sprinting, you can't actually, like you can hold your shield sprinting, but when you jump, you instantly lose your shield. So you can't actually jump and shield in a fancy like tech kind of way, which I hope they change soon enough. But what you can do that I haven't seen anybody doing is if you're just in an overall shitty spot, Iron Man shooting a pulse cannon at your team of 3 over here, and you're way here out of position, you can literally sprint, dash, and get in front of the ultimate. And if you connect with the ultimate in midair, yes, you will die, but that ult will stop traveling and it will not hit your entire team. I've had games where I've done that, where I'm just like out of position. Ideally, I want to try and get a shield deflect and be in front of my team, but if I'm not out of it, Captain America has great mobility, so you can reposition super quick. So you can go run, dash, or just run, jump in front of it, and you can literally put yourself in front of the ultimate and save your freaking team. And people will love the hell out of you when you do that. When I did this, people were just like raging in the chat, like, Captain America, my hero, he saved the whole team. Because literally my whole team was clustered up. There was like 4 of them there. But I basically went in. Actually, I wasn't even sprint jumping. I actually was trying to do a normal jump and I jumped out in front of it. But some kind of glitch happened and his shield's actually buggy. Like when you're jumping or walking backwards, even if things hit your shield, you still take damage for some reason. That's another one of the bugs discussed in my Captain America video. But I was in front of the team. I was standing on the payload because I knew Iron Man was trying to get in position for an ult. So I wanted the high ground so I could actually jump in front of it. So I jumped in front, tried to shield. I ended up dying, but it stopped the ult from connecting all the way. So it saved my entire team. And that's a worst case scenario. Ideally, you wouldn't want to die at all, but it's better than your whole team getting wiped. So now let's talk about some DPS counters for Iron Man. So obviously range DPSs will be good. Hela, Hawkeye, if you have decent aim and can actually hit him, I would suggest definitely Hela, Hawkeye, Punisher. They have pretty good range in their abilities and they can put a lot of pressure on Iron Man and take him out of the sky. If you're on Magic, you gotta switch off. Squirrel Girl, you ain't gonna do shit. Spider-Man, bruh, who are you kidding? Some people like to go Wanda and like get up in the face and just use her instant lock ability. I wouldn't really recommend it, but yeah, it can work. Star-Lord is a pretty freaking great option for dealing with Iron Man because Star-Lord has really good mobility. So he can follow up on kills and actually clap the Iron Man's cheek. Let's switch this character over to Iron Man. So one of the reasons why Star-Lord is really good against Iron Man is because Iron Man's usually going to be in the sky. He might be playing around cover, but if you can get an angle on him and pop your ult, if you don't already know, a full clip from Star-Lord's gun does exactly 250 damage. So that's enough to one clip 250 health pool heroes. Iron Man is a 250 health pool heroes. So he's trying to angle, he's trying to get in position, you get an vantage point on him, you fly around, do Star-Lord things, pop your ult, and then that's all. That's literally all you got to do, man. All you got to do, save your ult for Iron Man, get him first, and then go for the rest of the team. And that's an easy way to counter him. Another thing you can do is, like, if he's far away, you can, you know, shoot a little pepper at him, you get a little bit of damage on him, and then he's probably going to run away. Since you have your speed boost, you can literally fly, catch up to him, pull this little number on him, and then, ooh, Iron Man is deleted from the game. Easy. So those are like the two main ways you want to deal with Iron Man as Star-Lord. But you still want to do it, like kind of similar with Iron Man. Star-Lord's good for your team because you are a flanker. You have great mobility, so you can flank around the map, get health packs and stuff. And you're also creating another off angle for the team. So remember, they have 2 off angles because they have the Iron Man. Now you have your main team and you're a flanker, so you were creating another off angle for them. So now it's even, but also you can basically just, you know, when you see Iron Man Sky, just put a little pressure on him. It doesn't really matter if you get the kill. Like if he's this far away, I'm not going to dive in to try to finish up the kill. But if I manage to get in closer, then I'll follow in and get the kill. But basically, if you just shoot him a little bit, make him back off your team, then go back to focus on the team by fighting your ult. And then when you get your ult, you can clap his cheeks, or if you're close enough, you can do a little something like that, you know? Easy peasy pumpkin schneezy. Now another excellent DPS choice is Namor, and this one's kind of like a double-edged sword because Namor, his spears have really good range, but the main reason is for his squids, guys. His squids have like 40 range, so it's honestly it's going to come down to positioning if you're Namor versus Iron Man, because Iron Man is actually pretty good against you too because he can take off angles and he can deal with your turrets and your squids. So what you got to do is you got to actually make sure you get the off angle on him first, throw a couple of your turrets up into position, and you can throw these like on the high ground, and they have a range of 40 meters. Like literally, they shoot really far. Let me put one way back here so I can show you how far these squids actually shoot. So basically, throw up both your turrets, and you want to wait for 2 so you can get him before you can get to cover. But I'm going to show you one so I can show you. So I'm putting my turret up here. It's got an angle of the sky, say Iron Man's sky, but look at that, guys. I am literally... Look how far away I'm shooting that. And the best thing, though, is even if you're like missing with Namor trying to hit him in the sky, it doesn't matter. Your turrets are going to do the job for you. So if you're really wrestling, if you're new to the game and mechanically you're just not really the best yet, just try and get a little flank play. throw a turret up. It's got really good range. So if Iron Man's anywhere here and then you just start shooting at him, he's gonna get deleted. Did my squid die? Oh, there we go. Wait. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Yeah, and let me show you how it looks with 2 squids real quick too. But dude, the range on these bad boys is insane. All right, so now let's throw it up. And after the next, oh, I kind of messed that up, but I think it'll still hit. I messed that up too. They're changing his cast radius for this. All right, I want to kill him at full HP real quick so I can really just show you how quick it deletes. All right, I'm not gonna do anything fancy real quick. I'm gonna throw my squids just right here. And you want to space them out because Iron Man has AoE damage because you don't want him sniping your stuff. So watch this. Iron Man. Go get him, squids. All right. No more Iron Man. All gone. And then a last thing though, if you can't beat him, join him. You could also like go Iron Man 2. And if you can get the angle on him and just run up, flap in his face and do this, you'll probably delete him first. Iron Man kind of counters Iron Man, honestly. So those are the options for DPS that I would use to deal with Iron Man. Now, if you're playing support, now there's not really a super good option, I would say. Like, sure, you could clap cheeks if your aim is good with Mantis or Adam Warlock. But what you want to do if you're on the support role is you want to just be mindful that Iron Man is distracting you from healing your team. And if your team is garbage and nobody's dealing with them, yes, do what I said. Attack him a couple times, make him retreat, but don't commit to trying to kill him. Too many supports are literally just, you know, I'm trying to hit him, I'm trying to hit him, I'm trying to hit him. Hey, I finally got him. Oh, my whole team is dead because I wasn't healing or supporting my teammates. I was too preoccupied just really trying to deal with this Iron Man. So I would say don't do that as support unless you just have a really good position, a really good angle on him. He's like right here, point blank in your face, and it's like, okay, I can delete this guy easy. Sure, go for the kill then. But if you're like far away and he's like just spamming your team, just shoot a couple shots at him, hit him like 1 or 2 times, just enough to make him back off and feel pressured, and then go back to focusing on healing your teammates, okay? That's what I'm gonna tell you. Don't try to be the hero. Don't try to go for the complete finish. You will waste too much time doing that, and the rest of your team will die. You might get the Iron Man, but it won't be worth it because you literally have no team left, okay? So anyways, guys, I hope you found value in this video. Stop letting this guy get free wins on you. All you need is a little bit of counterplay and use these tips and tricks I taught you today and some of these heroes, and you are definitely going to have a much easier time dealing with him. Please like this video, subscribe, share with the community so we can end this cancer, and have an amazing day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Maximum